So raw umber or burnt umber with a bit of ultramarine violet. And we're just gonna put the color in just for this window. We want dark in here. By the time we put colors all around, this dark will be fine. What's in the, what is the reference? It's right here. Let's see what's in there. It's darker than brown. We should put maybe a bit of black in some right here, because it's darker than just, it's not just brown. Okay, I know what to do. All right. Don't take the black all the way in. Just keep this part here brown, this part. Just put the black in here and keep this part brown. So what we're going to do is create an illusion or a hint of a wall that's going in right here. And that we could do with a bit of titanium buff, very small amount. Touch of titanium buff. Okay, so for this window treatment, we're going to use yellow ochre, ultramarine violet to tone down the yellow ochre, and then red. Just a bit of cadmium red light. Cadmium red light has more orangey, it's more orangey than cadmium red medium. So for first layer, we need this to be subdued. We need it to be dark because we're going to highlight the part underneath, like part of it's going to be highlighted and the other part is going to be in a shadow area. So that will do. This is a nice color that has purple and orange. It's going to dry darker. We'll take it from there. After we'll start highlighting it, to shape it. We can put any design we want on this. Let's try to see if we can, let's try and see if we can do the bamboo or cane design. Top part is usually darker than the lower. So let's take, I'm going to take a bit of ultramarine violet and then add it over here. That's good. A little bit right here. Okay. It looks a bit too red on the on the camera, so I'm gonna pause and adjust the camera setting. Okay, so now we're going to use yellow ochre and a bit of titanium buff because we want to highlight slowly. I'm going to start highlighting this slowly. Round brush, and we want to leave in between some dark yellow ochre. So we don't want it. We want some texture. It's not working well. Hold on, let me put some water, maybe it will work. Yeah. You don't want to lose the darks completely. I think this needs to be slightly on an angle this way. Yeah. Sorry, the lines are supposed to be going on an angle. Follow this.
Are you doing diagonal lines too?
Yes, like a dot line. It's like here, I'm gonna take a bit of more of the titanium buff with the yellow ochre and I'll show you. So what I'm doing is, let's say first, let's see where I want to put those highlights. Where is the reference? I keep losing my reference. Oh. So mainly inside, there's no light at all. So we don't really have to worry about that. But for texture, I'm doing this in between. So I did this first, right? I did this, right? I went across. All right. And now I went across and now I'm going this way, a bit this way.
Okay.
Just for the sake of, giving it some texture.
Did you take the same color all the way up to the top?
Yes, but because my color is not 100% opaque, it had a bit of water in it. It was like more like a glaze. I could see the dark still underneath. I can't see very well the actual brush stroke, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I can go back and darken a bit and do. But you know what? Honestly, I really don't think we should spend too much time on this. Doing it this way is fine, is enough. When you go up, don't put too much titanium buff in your paints and your yellow ochre. Okay. Now for the frame and the walls, we're going to use cerulean blue, ultramarine violet, raw umber, and white. So for the frame, the blue frame, because it's inside and it's in shadow area, it's darker. I'm going to use cerulean blue and purple. Let's see more of the cerulean blue than the purple. I'm going to put a bit of raw umber in it, just to tone it down. Okay. Bottom part. All right. Now, I'm going to take the same color, same cerulean, a little bit of ultramarine in it. And let's take white, put it in. Not much, just enough to see the difference, enough to see a bit of highlight in there, like a light color. And we're going to do this, try to do this. Let's see if I can't see it, then I'm going to add more white. Yeah, a bit more white. Because in here, it's this window is on an angle. So I'm going to be seeing the side of the frame, the wooden. Same here, down here. All right, so now I have thickness of the wood. That looks good. I would highlight a little bit more. And just maybe from here down. And here.
Sorry, Layal, what are you using for the highlighting?
White, same colors, but I'm adding white. White.
But you
Same.
have a little bit of blue in it and the rest of the colors?
Yeah, blue and ultramarine violet and white. Touch of, put a touch of raw umber in it. Just a very small amount to tone down the blue. Okay, so to do this wall here, we need to darken this. You know, we have two values. We have a value, medium value, and we have a darker one here. So, and I like to keep it in the blue and purple. And I have raw umber here, and I'm putting white. So now I'm adjusting the white because I added too much white. This is too much. This is better. It's just like a gray. It's like a beautiful grayish color, blue gray. That is good. This is too much white. This is good. So it is ultramarine violet, cerulean blue, raw umber, a bit of raw umber, because raw umber changes the color into greenish. So a bit of raw umber and a small amount of white. So you have to test it. You really have to test how much white you're putting, like I did right now. So I tested this and it turned out to be too white. So I added more blue and more purple. and to darken the blue and purple. So if I want this wall to be dark, but I don't want to add too much blue and purple, raw umber is a good choice. Okay, so I'm gonna go up. The more I go up, the more I'm gonna add a little bit of more raw umber in here, and with my cerulean and ultramarine to make it darker. Yeah, that's good. Slightly darker. Okay, we can see a little bit of the wall, the inner part of the wall. It will dry darker. So I like, this is a nice color, blue, because this is going to be the shadows over on the wall. So at first it might look too much, too dark. It might be too dark actually, but because acrylic dries darker. But eventually I think it will look really nice. We can adjust it. So I'm going to add more purple, more blue, a little bit more of the raw umber. And let's see. Yeah, that's a good one. That's really good. That's darker. It's nice if it looks kind of fresh. So to make it look fresh, it's more of the blue and purple and less of the raw umber. A little bit of white too. Okay, I need just to wait a bit so it dries, because I can adjust my values. I think more darker bottom part. So let's take ultramarine violet, take some raw umber in it and put it here. Just ultramarine violet and raw umber. And let's see where it stops. Okay, it continues all the way in. Now, I don't want to take all this all the way in, all this brownish, purplish color. Just keep it in this area, which is the darkest area. And then let's bring it out this way and it becomes a bit lighter. Okay. Now, let's wait for it to dry a bit. I'm going to take more white, round brush. You want me to stop? I'm just going to put a highlight. That's all. Continue.
Yes.
Okay. So lots of white, a little bit of blue and purple. Just lots of white though. would take a bit of titanium buff at this point, mix it with white and blue. Just add a bit of titanium buff. Yeah, that's good. Because titanium buff has a bit of yellow in it. And that yellow, it represents sun. Ah, that's good. All right, that's good. Okay, now same titanium buff, white and blue. It will tone down, but titanium buff will tone down the white too. It's not, doesn't look like the white is too strong. Next time when we're putting, when we do the color of the, we put the color of the wall, we will draw where the shadow, yes, the shadow is going to be, and then we will highlight in between that. Titanium buff, ultramarine violet. Oh, that's a lot. I have white on my brush. I'm going to try to draw the pot.
What color are the pots?
It's the same. It's titanium buff. I have titanium buff, ultramarine violet, and I have white on my brush. But the ultramarine violet and titanium buff is really important because it will dry, it should dry darker. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute, because it's supposed to dry darker, a little bit darker down over here inside. That's in the shadow area. So it should be kind of, so I'm adding here now ultramarine violet in this area inside. Actually, it is darker. It's darker than the light in here. So this is what I'm going to do. And take ultramarine violet, put it on this pot. I'm sorry, I have to turn this around a bit because I'm not comfortable.
Sorry, the pot is ultramarine violet and titanium white.
Titanium buff, ultramarine.
Sorry, titanium buff. Okay.
Yeah, and I have a bit of white in it, but mostly it is ultramarine violet and titanium buff. Yeah, that's better. See, that's because this shadow hitting this area here should be lighter than the pot itself. So this is ultramarine violet and titanium buff for this pot. I'm gonna take a little bit of, I'm gonna add a little bit of white on my brush. Ah, that's not necessary. We can keep it just the way it is, just ultramarine violet and titanium buff. One behind it has a bit of blue. Let's take, okay, I'm going too fast. Should slow down a bit. No, should be darker. This one is blue, raw umber, and ultramarine, and titanium buff, sorry, titanium buff. But you can see the blue in it more. Right, the one in the corner there, I really have no idea what color is that. So it doesn't matter, I'm gonna create a color. Let's take purple and raw umber and some blue. Yep, that works. By the time we put the green and the flowers, and it'll be fine. It's good. So
What was
blue.
the second one?
Second one here, this one?
Yes.
Okay, so the second one was a blue, raw umber, cerulean blue, and titanium buff. I glazed this with a bit of white.
You glazed what did you glaze?
I glazed this part
Okay.
with a bit of white, just white. Now there is another one here in the picture, but I'm just going to ignore that. So add a bit of blue in here after I added I put on this vase here, I used the three colors. I used cerulean, purple, and raw umber. And when it's drying kind of brownish. So I just waited for it to dry and then I added some blue over it. Just blue. That's nice. It's nicer.
Straight the line close to the pots layout of the
Hmm?
window.
This
Straight the line. No. Inside.
here.
The other line. No. The other line. The other. There.
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah.
Something wrong
It's
with this?
it's
It's
not straight.
it's not straight.
Diagonal. It's not straight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's diagonal this way. This one?
Yeah. Diagonal
going
this
down.
way. Yes.
It is. Now, these pots right now are flat. They should have some kind of a darker inside here. This will cast a bit of a shadow over this pot here. Should cast a very thin, a faint shadow over the frame. So I'm just going to take ultramarine violet, just ultramarine violet, and I'm going to put it here. Just to give it a bit of, that looks like it does have some kind of a shadow over it on the wall. Now this pot is supposed to cast a shadow over this pot right here, the one behind it. Right now they look flat. So
No, not really. The middle one is fine. The first one, I think, needs a little bit.
this should cast a shadow over here on the second one.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So let's do that. Let's try using ultramarine violet. A touch of raw umber, very small amount raw umber, and water. So it's like a glaze. That's better.
Yeah.
And this needs a bit of more white. So I'm going to glaze it again, the one in the front. I'm going to glaze it again with a bit of white here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better. So this is what we're going to be doing with the wall. We're going to put a color, dark color first, not dark, medium kind of. And then we will highlight in between where the light is hitting. In between, we would put this light in between.